Why, hello there, and welcome to Washington, D.C. Behind me, the American History Museum, right behind me. So we did the Natural History Museum the other day. We're going to do the American History Museum. No idea what's inside here. We're gonna go check it out. And I feel like there's gonna be a lot of cool stuff because the Natural History Museum, there was tons of cool stuff. So right here behind me, right in the middle of the National Mall, Washington, D.C., American History Museum. Let's go. The official name donned on the side of the building, the National Museum of American History. One thing I can say about DC, the architecture on the buildings is phenomenal. But we're not here to talk about architecture. We're here to look at some stuff. We're here right for opening. It is 10 a.m. They just opened the doors. Now, if you didn't know, the museums here are all free admission. You just walk in. You do have to go through security, but you just walk in and enjoy. Right when you walk in, there's this awesome carousel dated from around 1912 to 1916. I had to stop. I love carousels. I don't like to ride them because they make me dizzy, but I love them. They're beautiful. This 1969 Ford LTD lowrider, Dave's Dream. Dave Jaramillo converted this 1969 Ford LTD into a lowrider with elaborate styling and a hydraulic system that raises and lowers the car's frame as a way of expressing cultural pride. One East. Going to the east side of the building. Look at this thing. This is an 1831 John Bull steam locomotive. Pretty impressive, 1831. This food section, transforming the American table. This is very interesting. So this is Julia Child's kitchen right here. Look into the kitchen here. Look at Cody over there. He's in the display. How'd that happen? This is Julia Child's real kitchen here. Her real gas range. Had that very long time. If you're not sure who she is, she had a cooking show right here. Bon appetit. Check out this food exhibit here. There's an interesting tidbit. Look, we have the Southgate Shopping Center in Lakeland, Florida. You may recognize that from Edward Scissorhands. Of course, this picture was taken well before that movie was filmed. But check that out. That's cool. Old picture. 1960. Now heading into the General Motors Hall of Transportation. America on the move. Now a section of different container ships. Walking into the military age.
With every passing week, the war increases in scope and intensity. That is true in Europe, in Africa, in Asia.
Now shifting gears a little bit, going to some luxury liners. This giant model of the Mauritania. And this right here. A life vest from the Titanic. The Titanic, obviously one of the most famous shipwrecks of all time. we have the camera. Bernice Palmer Ellis was aboard the Carpathia when it came to rescue the Titanic passengers. She used this camera, which she had received as a gift in the winter of 1912, to take these photographs of the survivors and the icebergs. It's quite fascinating. Also have this ceiling up top here to make you feel like you're on one of these luxury liners. Doesn't look too bad on camera, but the light level is very low in here. They have to keep the lights low because these are very, very old artifacts, and if they had bright light on them all the time, it would actually hurt the materials, change the colors. It would wreak some havoc, so hence low light levels. The bell buoy is sitting in the middle of the floor here. I also have a riverboat, paddle boat here. A little model of the Hendrick Hudson. Passenger boats connect New York City to points across the ocean along the East Coast deep into New York State, and just across the harbor, the Hendrick Hudson ran pleasure excursions up the Hudson River to Albany. We have a photo of them on the Hudson. There's the ship. Here we have the inside, the inner workings of a ship. Now we got to see lots of cool stuff like this when we went on the USS North Carolina. That was a wonderful, wonderful little tour through there. Self-guided tour, got to walk all through the boat, and it looks like this. The ship looked exactly like this. All these valves and switches and everything is just, it's incredible. Now, obviously this is a little different. This is like a steam engine, not anything like the USS North Carolina that we went on, but it's still no less mind-blowing. This is a ship's surgical kit from around the 1870s. These tools are quite menacing looking. We also have the medicine cabinet over here. 1800s era. These some different items made from whaling. We used the teeth and bone of the whale to create these different items. This I found quite interesting. So this is a scrimshaw pan bone. Pan bone is part of the sperm whale's jaw. They just use it as a canvas to draw on, create art. Spin to discover your fate. I didn't spin it, you spun it. You're the 8th man to board an enemy vessel for which you earn 1/4 extra share, but the ship has no cargo. You burn it and leave with no prize. Ugh.
It's hard to spin.
Oh, spin. You capture a ship loaded with sugar, rum, molasses, cotton, coffee, ginger, and mahogany. You're eligible to get 1 share of this huge prize. Not bad.
I want to redo.
Oh yeah. No.
You
No
spin it
redos.
multiple times.
No redos. You got literally the same thing. Take that. Here we have the steam locomotive Jupiter, built in 1876 in Philadelphia. It was the Santa Cruz Railroad's 3rd locomotive, built for narrow gauge track. There are a few different forms of transportation here. Bicycles, buggies, streetcars.
Step lively, folks.
Where are you headed, bud? Where are you headed, huh? Huh? Yeah? No? Nothing? He's not a very talkative one, this guy. just reading this book. Here we have different automobile manufacturers throughout the years. Nowadays you got your big ones, your main ones, including Ford over here, 1940. But before that, there were lots and lots of different manufacturers. Guess I'm more modern, and I use that term loosely. Vehicles. Also have the CB radio, the Citizens Band Radio, the oil crisis, which brought lower speed limits, more police enforcement, and gas shortages, made the CB radio a necessity for truck drivers. It let good buddies talk to one another as they drove. Good. Scott on Tape does that voice much better than me. There's only one scene. Good.
Listen, did you hear if they plan to put a train in the median on this new Northwest Expressway?
There's probably plans for that someday. They had made their daily down. I probably heard that.
We're just sitting in a little mock-up of the Chicago Transit Authority Rapid Rail Transit. I'm sorry, it's not a mock-up. It's car 6719. It was one of hundreds of transit cars purchased by the CTA in the 1950s to replace their obsolete trains. So it's a real one. That's car 6719, as donned on the side there. This is a 1955 Ford Country Squire station wagon. I like this little Cadillac right here. Awesome little pedal car. We have a fantastic little movie theater set up here, watching some automobiles and some motion pictures. This 1939 Plymouth Coupe was used to come over to the cabins. Take a nice little camping trip. They got a nice little camper over here. Look at this. This is all you need right here. It's a trailer. Got the table, little sitting area, little kitchen, and a bed back there. That's all you need. This is a 1929 Oakland sedan. This is a magnificent looking vehicle. Older cars like this are beautiful looking. Look, we're on US Route 66 in Oklahoma. That's still a bucket list item of mine to do Route 66. I've been on it a few times. I've been at the start of it. I've been at the end of it. I've been in the middle of it. But I've never traveled the entire route. And we're back at our Charlotte locomotive. Heading over to the west wing now. So we have the east and west wings, and there's 3 floors. Don't know what all is displayed where. This Chinese Coca-Cola ad was from about 1936. Now find ourselves in the Enterprise exhibit. Look at this. This is a Thomas Edison talking doll. In 1890 he made these talking dolls. They were expensive and heavy and had very poor voice quality. He called them his little monsters when they flopped in the marketplace. And then, of course, his light bulb. That was a little more successful. Look at Mr. Peanut and a California raisin up there. Also a Target dog. I used to work at Target. That was a long time ago already. Mooresville, North Carolina. Super Target. Former place of employment. I like the peanut guy though. He's awesome. The sign of your future. Kentucky Fried Chicken. In the mid-1950s, Kentucky Fried Chicken founder Harlan Sanders and his first franchisee, Pete Harmon, innovated cooking methods and insisted that local owners maintain service and stick to the original recipe. Sanders succeeded through standardizing his product and making his brand reliable. Look at this DC Superman comic courtesy, compliments of Radio Shack. There's a Radio Shack video display, the TRS-80 micro computer system. In 1971, McDonald's expanded to Japan. This sign from 1975 is a Japanese McDonald's sign. MICKEYMOUSE. We got a Disney World Mickey Ears hat. Celebrating the 25th anniversary, as it says in the center there. 1996, Mickey Ears. And keeping with the Disney theme, we got Rex and Mr. Potato Head from Toy Story 2 with some McDonald's Chicky Nuggies. 1999. Oh, Game Boy. I have one of you at home. Here we have a Mexican Coca-Cola bottle next to a Jumanji VHS tape. An early 1900s rendition of Uncle Sam. Nice little statue there. Into a real Uncle Sam, Wilbert E. Lepian wore this costume and handed out printed cards. Lepian first appeared as Uncle Sam in 1956, took part in numerous ceremonies, parades across the country, including 5 presidential inaugurations. That was a gift from his family. And then this giant, this monumental clock. It's magnificent. These are rather interesting. These are different campaign torches. A whole slew of them. This is a rather large, shirtless rendition of George Washington. In 1832, to mark the centennial of George Washington's birth, the U.S. Congress commissioned a statue of the first president. This classically inspired sculpture honored Washington as a leader in war and peace, the victorious general who voluntarily handed his power, symbolized by the sword, back to the people. The unconventional statue of the bare-chested and sandaled president was installed in the rotunda of the U.S. Capitol building and later the Capitol grounds before it was transferred to the Smithsonian in 1908. Here's a photo of it on the Capitol grounds in around 1900. Now, checking out the history of the Star-Spangled Banner. We have a piece of the White House timber that was charred by fire of 1814. So it's when the British marched into Washington and burnt most of the city in 1812. After burning Washington, D.C. on September 13th, 1814, British warships began firing bombs and rockets towards Baltimore. This is a fragment of one of the bombshells in here. This is the type of bombshell that was fired at Fort McHenry. Here we have some Walt Disney Company products. A wall displaying Disney items. And then we got some maps, some park maps. So we got Disneyland up top here, and Magic Kingdom in Florida. Over here we got all kinds of Disney stuff. Different ears, different designs. This grand opening, the Splash-tacular 1992 at Walt Disney World of Splash Mountain. Splash Mountain did close, unfortunately. I was a big fan of it. Here's some fan-made buttons from the Briar Patch to the Bayou. So it's gonna be a Tiana ride. Time to be moving along. I'm gonna miss Splash Mountain, but hopefully the Bayou Adventure is gonna be good. We want the redhead. We want the redhead. There was a scene where they were auctioning off the redhead. It was completely changed to make it so they weren't auctioning off people. They are now auctioning off chickens on the current ride. Here we have a 1958 map of Disneyland, Walt Disney's original Magic Kingdom. It has changed greatly over the years. There's some originals still. We have the Disneyland Hotel as well. And then an original Magic Kingdom map. Now moving into military history. This exhibit looks rather large. Go in order from independence to the Civil War to World War I, World War II, the Cold War, Vietnam, New Rules, and Medal of Honor. This is the outfit that George Washington wore for portraits and special occasions. This was his fancy outfit. Right here in this portrait, that's the outfit he's wearing. There's a World War II Willys Jeep hanging from the ceiling. Not what the barracks would look like in World War II. This is a real Huey that was used during the Vietnam War. Then it was used as a film centerpiece and national tour item. They went around the nation. Encased here we have some fragments of the Berlin Wall. November 9th, 1989, East German government reopened its borders. Thousands of Berliners flocked to the wall to greet their long-separated families and friends. This is a steel column assembly that was recovered, part of the 17th floor of the South Tower of the World Trade Center from the September 11th attacks. and also an airphone from Flight 93 that crashed in Pennsylvania, and identification badges from the Pentagon. This is William Perkins, the first and only combat photographer to receive the Medal of Honor. On November 12, 1967, William Perkins was documenting the war on patrol with his assigned Marine Infantry Company when the enemy attacked. In the midst of the fierce firefight, a grenade landed near Perkins and 3 fellow Marines. Shouting "incoming grenade," he threw his body on top of it. Now, onto the gunboat, Philadelphia. The Continental gunboat Philadelphia, built and sunk in 1776. This is the oldest American man-of-war in existence, symbolizes the resourcefulness of those who established our nation's independence. Philadelphia sank on October 11th, 1776. Philadelphia has been on exhibit since it was raised in 1935, first as a tourist attraction in the Lake Champlain region, and then from 1965 to present at this museum. The Philadelphia was found in 1935 with its mast standing tall, top barely 15 feet below the surface of Valker Bay. After almost 160 years, Philadelphia remained in its upright position. This is a copy of the original sketch of the Philadelphia underwater when they found it. All different items found on the boat. Let's see how much of that musket decayed away. Right there is where the 24-pound shot went through the hull when it was sunk. That's what caused it to sink. That hole right there. Now this one I am excited for, the Entertainment Nation. Toto, I have a feeling we're not in Kansas anymore. Got Dorothy's ruby slippers, 1939, The Wizard of Oz. Now we're talking my language. Here we have costumes of C-3PO and R2-D2 used in Return of the Jedi, 1983. These are original Jim Henson puppets from around 1970. We got Kermit and Miss Piggy. These are so cool to look at. Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey circus poster, 1923. Look at the size of this thing as we step back. Huge. Baseball mitt and ball from around 1875. Chris Evans' shield from Captain America, Winter Soldier. Suit worn by Ellen DeGeneres. Toby Keith's guitar from the 2010s. So much popular culture, sports memorabilia. It's a costume worn by Selena. This is a signpost prop from the set of MASH. There we have the sign, photograph of the cast. This is a amber prop from Jurassic Park. And right next to it we got Bill Nye the Science Guy. Giant prop egg from Alien. I know I'm concentrating mostly on the movie stuff. There's really a lot of really nice things, like Michael Jordan's Chicago Bulls jersey. There's so much stuff. But the movie stuff is my preference. We got the Italian Stallion from Rocky, 1976. Some props from All in the Family. In this case, women in sci-fi and fantasy. We're gonna go to everyone. I got the gloves, necklace, and headband worn by Julie Newmar. It's Catwoman in the Batman show. Got some prop credentials used by Gillian Anderson as Dana Scully on the X-Files. On the left, we have the costume worn by Lucy Lawless, Xena, warrior princess. On the right, worn by Felicia Day as Sid Sherman, music video promoting her web series. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not sure about that. This katana is from The Walking Dead. Here's an animation cell from the first season of SpongeBob. That's a real animation cell, so when you watch SpongeBob, that's it. That's what you're looking at, a photograph of that. Cookie Monster. And an original Mouseketeer hat. What's up, Doc? Prince's Yellow Cloud guitar, 1983. And that's gonna do it for that museum. American history. There was some really cool stuff in there. I did not show a lot. I think I said several times about how much stuff there is, but it's the truth. Like, there's just so much stuff. I can't even, your brain can't grasp how much information and how many items and how much stuff there is inside there. It's pretty crazy. But yeah, that's gonna do it. The American History Museum, the National American History Museum. If you enjoyed the video, like it, subscribe to the channel. We do lots of filming locations, travel videos, and random things from time to time. And until next time, be good, have fun, and learn something.